Hello students. So in this Python exercise, we are going to look at a scenario in a swimming school, right? So what is the task? The task is to create a program that can output the dates of a particular day of the week, given the month and year. So the background is this: safe and sound training provides swimming lessons for the public. Lessons are held on the same day of each week. Students can choose which day of the week he or she attends for each month and can only switch days in the next month. So SST wants to ensure their coaches have a good work-life balance. So there'll be a maximum number of 4 lessons per month. So what happens is we know that some months, on a particular day, say Mondays, some months will have 4 Mondays, some months will have 5 Mondays, right? So that's the situation. So some months have 5 occurrence of a particular day of the week. In these cases, the 5th occurrence of that day will not have any lessons. So just 4. So for example, in the year 2025, March has 5 Saturdays: the 1st, 8th, 15th, 22nd, 29th. So April 2025 has 5 Wednesday: 2nd, 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th. So there will be no lessons on the 29th of March and 30th of April. So that's how it works. So SSD was a program that can find out the dates of a particular day of the week in a given month and year. The system must be robust enough to factor in leap years, where there are 29 days in February. Okay, let's see what we're supposed to do. Right? So first of all, the following code is written as UDF, is leap year. So it actually returns true is if the argument is a leap year, otherwise it's false. So it looks like this. Okay, we can write this ourselves, but no, for this particular exercise, just to help some students who may not be quite aware how leap years works, is given, right? But if you are interested, you can actually read out more on leap years and you could write this on your own. So with that, we're going to write a function called day number. There's a parameter x day passed to it, where x day is the name of a day of a week in uppercase. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So the function will return the integer value. That means if I put in a Tuesday, I expect it to return a 1. Okay, we can do that. So how do we do it? Well, first we can just create a list, right? I mean, we define day number with the parameter x day. Then we have a list of Mondays to Sundays, and then in uppercase, right? Uppercase. And what I'm going to return is I'm going to return the index. Okay, so the index of Monday is 0, the index of Tuesday is 1, and so on, since they are already in order. So I just return days dot index xday, right? So this is a very straightforward little function, UDF. I do understand that there may be some of you who will write it as a if-else statement, or just an if statement. That is, if next day is a Monday, return 0. If it's Tuesday, return 1, and so on. You could do that, but I thought this method is a bit more elegant. Okay, what's the next task we're supposed to do? We're supposed to write a function, days of all x days. There's a parameter year, month, x day passed to it, where year is a 4-digit integer, month is an integer with the range from 1 to 12, okay, within the range. And x day is the name of a day of a week in uppercase letters. The function must return all the dates of all x days for year and month in the list. Okay, so after that we can actually use the datetime module and the method dates to actually get the particular integer 0 to 6. So you see what we did just now with the day number. We actually can compare to the value that datetime is given, so that there's to check whether there's a match, right? So that's something that we will use later. Okay, so our function should use the day number and its leap year. Sure, we can do that. So let's begin by doing some validation of data. We know that the year should have a 4-digit, and we know that the month should be between 1 and 12. So we can just quickly create a simple validation UDF to check whether is it valid year and month. Now the year is it says 4-digit integer, but what we are actually taking in is actually a string, right? It's a string, because otherwise, if we have something like the year 300, it will come in as a 0300. I can't test whether it's 4, but if I take it as a string, I can. It should be 0300. That's what we expect the user to key in, 4 digits, right? So we'll do that. So for the string, we'll check whether the length is it 4. If it's not 4, we'll return false. And then we check if each of the character inside is a digit, right? If it's not a digit, then we also return false. As for the month, we can collect the input as the integer and then just test whether is it in between 1 and 12 inclusive. If it is, it's all right, right? If it's not in, we return false, otherwise we return true. So this is a simple validation. And now for the actual code, for the real task. Okay, so we're going to import date time, and then we're going to check date times of all x days, right? So that's what we want. So the three parameters are there. So first thing first is that we need to figure out the leap year, right? So we're supposed to use is leap year. So I'm going to start by declaring that the days in a month, okay, is 31 days. Now, why is there a 0? Because January is actually 1, right? February is 2, and March is 3. So the very first value in the list here, I put 0 because there's no 0 month. There's only month number 1, month number 2. So it will not be in use, okay? It will not be in use. Just that I need something there so that the index will match the month number, right? So there's a technique that we can apply. So I list it in this way. Then I need to check whether is it leap year, right? So if the month happen to be 2, that means it's February, and it is a leap year, right? Then the total number of days will be 29. Otherwise, the total number of days of the month that's selected, right? The month that is that's the input. It will just be the month according to the list that I just list out. Okay, so days in a month, we have that. So for February, we have a special calculation. If it's not February, I've already just pulled it out from the list called days in month. After that, what happened is I want the day number, right? So the X day, what I have collected in the X day is actually the string, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the full word, the full name of the day. I want to change it into 0 to 6. So I call it the day integer so that I don't get confused. So the day integer will be day number with and then let's say Sunday. So if it's Sunday coming in, then the day integer will be equal to 6. After that, I need to compare, right? I need to compare this day integer, which is from the input, and test it with what I get from the date time module. So to collect the information, I set up a matching dates to see if they match, okay, and I'll call it a list. Then I'll look through the month, right? So for days in the range, so my days will be day number 1, right? That's why my range starts from day number 1. So let's say it's January. January will be 1 to 31. But of course, understanding how range work, my 31 need to add a number, add 1, so that it gets 32. That means I actually don't include 32. I terminate when it's 32. So it goes from 1 to 31. That's why I have total days plus 1 there. So what this loop does is that it runs through day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and day 31. For each day, I'm going to check whether, okay, using the date time module, the date and the weekday, excuse me, and test it against the day integer and see if there's a match, right? So if there's a match, then I add it to my matching dates. So by doing this, let's say my input now will give me the year, give me the month, and then my X day say is Sunday. I will actually go through my list, and whenever I hit the Sunday, I will collect that day number and put it into a list called matching dates. So I will have 4 or 5 depending, all right, depending on the results, what I've chosen. Okay. So after I have that UDF done, now I need a simple user interface that allows user to do the following. Input the year, the month on the same line, separate by space. Okay, a simple input function will do that. Then I need the input the name of the particular day of the week. That will be my X days, right? My X day. Then output, if there's no lesson or if there's no date where there's no lesson, say so as well. Then allow users to continue to check until a quit command is input. So it will be a loop that will keep going until I detect that the input is actually the word quit. So this is what I'm going to do. Okay, because it's a user interface, so it is a user interface, it'll be nice to make things look prettier. So I'm just going to have another UDF called month name, so that later on when I'm finally going to output my values, my message, instead of having month 3, I would like to put it as March so that it's more clarity, right? So same, my month now from January to December. Notice I return month -1. Why? Because In this case, January index is 0, February is 1, March is 2, and so on. So I need to minus 1 to the index so that I return the correct month. So once I have this sorted out, so that's for my output later to try to make things look prettier and nicer, right? This is how my actual main program will look like. So I'm going to print some opening message first, let the user know that this program check which days in a given month have no lesson, and then to also let the user know if you want to quit, you type quit, right? After that, I'll start my loop. Since the loop, I want it to keep going until certain condition is met, I can just go while true, and then we go, right? So I have one year month. Year month, our input, and then I expect the user to key in the year and the month, give them an example, for example 2025 with a space and 4, and then I actually strip it so that in case there's any additional space that the user actually key in, some space bar here and there, right? So to make it very clean, so I have two numbers there. Then I check, right? If the year month is quit, I break. To make things cleaner, I just put it upper and then uppercase, right? In case somebody will type quit in lowercase, some will type it in uppercase, some may put it in a mixture of upper and lowercase. So just to make sure that there's no misunderstanding. After that, I will actually split my input into the year and the month. So split it up. Each one so I will have a year string and a month string. So I'll split it. After that, I also want the integer form of these two information. So I cast the year string to an integer and call it year integer, month string to month integer. So I have all this information now. My variables, I have my year string, year integer, month string, month integer, all nicely sorted out. Now before I continue, I will want to check whether the input is valid, right? So that's my valid test here. So if it is not valid, right, so I'll use the UDF that I created earlier, is valid year and month, but remember, I put my year string in and I put my month integer in. So if it's not valid, then I'll print invalid entries, please try again, then I put in the keyword continue. So continue means, okay, they will go start the loop again. That's what you're actually telling the program to do. But if it's fine, everything is good, then my next task will be to collect the X day. So again, ask a user for the X day input, enter a day of the week, for example Monday. Now I want to strip it just in case, extra space bar that the user type, and then I want to make it uppercase, right? So that there's some consistency, just uppercase. So again, if the X day is quit, I break. So in this case, since I already made it into upper in my input, I don't need to do it in my if statement there, right? So if it's quit, break out of the loop and the program. Otherwise, okay, I'm going to actually use my dates of all day, right, to actually run the UDF that I written just now, putting in the year integer, putting in the month integer, putting in the X day, and then it will return me a list containing either 4 or 5 dates based on my input. So that's what the matching dates does, right? It's either 4 or 5 integer which represents the date number, right? So after that, okay, I check whether this particular list, is it more than 4, because it is either 4 or 5 if my program is written correctly. It's either 4 or 5, right? So it's more than 4, I print out that to say that there is no lesson on the 5th one, right? The 5th occurrence. That's why I have my matching dates there. My index is -1 because, or you can put 4 as well, but no, -1 works fine because just the very last entry in that list. So there's no lesson on the 5th occurrence. Otherwise, right? Otherwise, that means my length is of the list matching date is actually 4. Then there's actually lesson on every, for example, every Saturday, right? I just say it out and output it accordingly. So that's how this entire program can work. So feel free to try it out in Jupyter Lab on your own, and hope you have some success and it helps you to be more comfortable with Python, right? Have a nice day.